you matter, right? But there's a reason why I told you matter. I didn't tell you you matter just to hear myself talk. Like, I didn't say you matter because I wanted you to get on some emotional roller coaster. No, the reason why I told you matter is because you'll never have, you'll never be, you'll never do. Listen to me. You'll never experience life the way you were supposed to experience life until you recognize that you matter. Now, it's important for me to let you know that you are powerful beyond measure. Listen to me. I told you last week because perhaps, I don't know, your daddy wasn't in your life. Your mother wasn't in your life. I don't know. You didn't have a mentor. I don't know. But you may have never heard someone look you in your eye, look you in your soul, and tell you that you not only matter, you're powerful. I remember sleeping in abandoned buildings, eating out of garbage cans. I remember coming home, bringing home C's and D's. I remember not living up to my full potential. When you do what you've been born to do, what you've been called to do, what you've been birthed to do, nobody can do it like you. Nobody can sing the way you sing. Nobody can speak the way you speak. Nobody can write the way you write. Nobody can love the way you love. Nobody can play that piano. Nobody can play that saxophone. Nobody can play that violin. Nobody can do poetry quite like you can do it. Nobody can produce the way you produce. Nobody can write scores the way you write scores. Are you hearing what I'm saying? You're powerful.
But the next thing, ladies and gentlemen, I want to share with you that some of you already know that it's hard. It's not easy. It was hard, ladies and gentlemen. It was very difficult to pick myself up each day believing that I could do it. There were times that I doubted myself. I said, God, why is this happening to me? I'm just trying to take care of my children and my mother. I'm not trying to steal or rob from anybody. Why did this have to happen to me? It was very hard. And here's what I want to say to you. For those of you that have experienced some hardships, don't give up on your dream. No one could have convinced me by holding on, by continuing to push forward, by continuing to run toward my dream, that one day I would have my own talk show. It's a long shot, ladies and gentlemen, from Liberty City, an abandoned building on a floor, never knowing my mother or father. It's a long shot. Being here with you today in this dome in Atlanta, it's a long shot. No college training, labeled educable, mentally retarded, but I kept running toward my dream. Don't stop. Don't stop. Running toward your dream.
Do you ever get the feeling like you were meant to do something extraordinary?
is my fate. If this is the path the gods have truly set me upon, then they will not see me fall.
A hero is a person noted for feats of courage and nobility of purpose, especially one who risks or sacrifices his or her life. But it goes on to say that it's a person noted for a special achievement in particular fields, such as the heroes of medicine. Basically, a hero is someone who, for whatever reason or reasons, does something for somebody else without regard to self, personal gain, and in some cases, personal endangerment. So who are these heroes? I mean, where are they? For real, where are they? Well, we see them every day. Heroes come in all shapes and sizes. They're doctors and nurses and soldiers, firefighters and police officers, but they're also teachers, and they're mothers and fathers and caregivers and social workers. And you. That's right, you have the potential to be a hero. You have what it takes to be a hero.
They are an intriguing people. From the moment they wake, they devote themselves to the perfection of whatever they pursue.
Courageous, self-sacrificing people, setting examples for all of us. Everybody loves a hero. People line up for them, cheer them, scream their names, and years later they'll tell how they stood in the rain for hours just to get a glimpse of the one who taught him to hold on a second longer.
Why are we here? What is the soul? Why do we dream? Perhaps we'd be better off not looking at all. Not delving, not yearning. That's not human nature. Not the human heart. That is not why we are here.
We're all looking for something. We're all looking for hope. Hope you can't just have just because you were born with hope. No, we're born with pain. We're born and live through difficulties. And in our life, my parents always taught me that even though we don't know why I was born this way, that we have a choice. Either to be angry for what we don't have, or be thankful for what we do have. The power of that choice was the first thing that I had to overcome and decide for myself, especially in the early years of school. A lot of kids would come up to me and tease me. And I have been speaking at 5 congresses. I've met 7 presidents all around the world. My largest crowd was 110,000. I have 30,000 invitations for me to speak. So wherever I go, I talk about the value of life. I talk about anti-bullying messages for the school systems in different nations. The greatest thing is love. When we feel like we don't have enough love and we don't have enough hope, we start losing strength to live.
I had an experience. I can't prove it, I can't even explain it, but everything that I know as a human being, everything that I am tells me that it was real. I was given something wonderful, something that changed me forever, a vision of the universe that tells us undeniably how tiny and insignificant and how rare and precious we all are. A vision that tells us that we belong to something that is greater than ourselves, that we are not, that none of us are alone. I wish I could share that. I wish that everyone, if even for one moment, could feel that awe and humility and hope.
It moves forward because of you. It moves forward because you reaffirmed the spirit that has triumphed over war and depression, the spirit that has lifted this country from the depths of despair to the great heights of hope. the belief that while each of us will pursue our own individual dreams,
let us together rebuild this world, that we may share in the days of peace.
And I ask you to sustain that hope. I'm not talking about blind optimism, the kind of hope that just ignores the enormity of the tasks ahead or the roadblocks that stand in our path. I'm not talking about the wishful idealism that allows us to just sit on the sidelines or shirk from a fight. I have always believed that hope is that stubborn thing inside us that insists, despite all the evidence to the contrary, that something better awaits us, so long as we have the courage to keep reaching, to keep working, to keep fighting.